about 12 minutes away from this pivotal 1-5A Regional Quarterfinals matchup between Amarillo High and Monterey. And so as we get ready for this game, we want to, get everybody excited for it. But before then, we're going to look at some of the great things that are happening in our school district as we go on the road and visit OL Slayton. We'll be back with more from Lubbock Christian University in just a moment.
Cut those off and put the stops on.
Today we got an ACE group coming in. They're here with a representative from Joe Roaching Plumbing. They're learning how to hook up a sink in a bathroom.
Most of the time your carpenters will have your sinkholes cut.
The ACE group is new within the last couple of years to OL Slayton, and we just kind of saw a need for a class like this. A lot of it was based on student interest, and there was some voting and things like that that told us the kids were kind of interested in looking into some of these careers, but didn't really have a chance to get started, at least in middle school. So as far as I know, we're the only ACE group, at least at this time, is offering a trades-related group through that ACE program.
Well, I learned some stuff. This is the pop-up assembly. We put the putty right here, and we put this rubber cone down so then we could put it in.
You take all this off, right? And then when you put this on there.
It's a lot of work.
Just how it's a really high-demand job. Anybody with the right amount of training and experience is almost guaranteed a job. So I think we got a lot of kids interested in possibly looking into this as a career. The other thing we talked about, though, is just kind of giving them some life skills, and you don't have to necessarily be a licensed plumber to have a plumbing problem one day. So a lot of these kids may be doing something completely different day to day, but hopefully when they get done with the class, they'll have some skills to just take care of some basic problems around their house.
In case if there's trouble with my sink, then I could do it instead of calling a plumber and spending my money.
This actually diverts the water.
It's been amazing. Like I said, they don't want to hear everything just from their teacher all day. So to have some people that are here with actual real-world experience can give them the real deal. It's been amazing to have these guys on board.
It's good. Since he spent his time coming over here, it was nice.
Very cool.
Teaching us stuff.
Great story there by our very own Mr. Lawson at the great things happening out at OL Slayton. This is our fourth broadcast in 7 days, Gary, and a lot of people have been saying a lot of positive things, and we're super grateful for that. But have you ever wondered what goes into doing one of these productions? Let's take a look at this next story that we have that inspires us here at Lubbock ISD-TV.
Ready to open up their mics, Caleb? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take it, open the mics, and go.
The history of LISD-TV sports starts back in late 90s, and we had the idea of starting a sports program where we could highlight our student athletes as well as train our high school students in how to do sporting production. When we first started, it obviously was pretty rudimentary. We didn't have the replay, we didn't have the graphics. We had some cameras that weren't really synced up together, where the colors were off and things like that. But over the 20+ years, we've really progressed into one of the top producers of high school sports.
So not only have we been able to expand with technology with our truck now, but we've also been able to expand our offerings to students and give them greater opportunities. And that's so awesome to see as a teacher. So I love the bus and I miss the bus, but it's been so awesome to see the kids getting to work with newer technology. Wow. And honestly, the kids get to do more positions.
Our truck was built on the basis of an ESPN truck. A lot of us were, in the original design, had worked in an ESPN truck, so we had an isolated audio booth. We had areas where there would be the replays, the graphics, the producer-director area, all the cameras and things like that. So we wanted to set it up just like an ESPN truck.
So the way that the professional world works with production trucks, you're not working with the same crew on a consistent basis. It's a completely new truck most of the time, it's a completely new crew. And so you aren't going to have the familiarity that you can working with your peers in school. So they really need to kind of learn how to communicate with multiple people. So you really just need to know your strengths and your weaknesses and find others that you're going to be on that production truck with to really help you grow your knowledge and grow your experience so that you can then have a full, well-rounded knowledge of the entire process.
Caleb, there's trailing music on this.
Everybody says
okay.
It's all about footwork, and in that particular moment, Kelly came out on top.
Another 3 for Monterey this time.
I can teach students the vocabulary words in class. I can teach them what to pan, tilt, you know, whatever the case may be, I can teach them all that stuff. I can give them a book and have them read. But for me, when they get their hands on equipment and then when they actually practice those vocabulary words that we've seen, that's when the real learning sinks in.
When kids leave our program after they graduate, I want them to be able to walk out and get a job. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We're teaching them hands-on, actual real-world job skills. And so whether they want to go to college or not, whatever the path they choose, I want them to leave here with plenty of experience and knowledge that they can walk out and they could work for ESPN as an 18, 19-year-old if they wanted to. They're going to leave here, they're going to be a step above everyone else in the country that's their age.
Just off the top of my head, maybe 50 plus students that I know have worked in the industry at some point. So whether that's going and working as somebody pulling cable, rolling cable, running camera, or even some of our more recent students who are actually directors of now production in sporting events and things like that. So it's really pretty awesome to be able to see the fruits of our labor, you know, because a lot of times as educators, we plant the seeds and we never really get to see what produces it. You know, in our industry, we get the visual. We actually get to see the fruits of our labor on TV.
Averaging 30.8 points per game. Then you have number 41.
If you are a high school student or even younger than that, and you want to get involved with Lubbock ISD TV, we would love to have you. We've got plenty of opportunities and it's so much fun. Not only will it prepare you to go to work, we can prepare you to get scholarships, but we have fun while we're doing it.
If you're interested in being part of the sports production, contact your counselor. If you're a parent or if you're a student that is interested in being in sports production, this is the absolute best place to start.
To Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
The following is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Let me ask you something. How bad do you really want to win? Do you see it in your dreams? Do you want it as bad as those who came before you? Everybody says they are winners, until they get a taste of what it takes to be one.
He'll slam it home.
When adversity hits, when pain and uncertainty creeps in, how will you respond? So let me ask you again, how bad do you want to win? Well, we're here to find out.
We are about to find out. Is it deja vu? I'm not sure. It's Amarillo High versus Monterey, this time the boys in the same round of the playoffs here at the Rip Griffin Center on the campus of Lubbock Christian University. Devin Ward here alongside Gary Regner, a senior from Lubbock High. Gary, buckle up. We're excited to see this matchup here tonight. The 7th-ranked Sandies taking on the Monterey Plainsmen. The Plainsmen winning district for the first time since 2007. And if you look at Amarillo High, Gary, they got some really tall and really talented players.
Absolutely. The thing that stands out first and foremost is their height. They are big. They are very, strong. They look like a tough team.
Absolutely. Got to crash the board. You're currently looking at Braden Housen. He's a 6'7" junior. Already has one offer from a Division I school. Many more possibly be rolling in soon. Of course, his brother, the other brother, plays for Villanova. And so that tells you how talented the family is. On the other side, Monterey's they're gonna have to play their style of basketball, which is fly up and down the court and make their three-point shots. A name that we're focusing on is Zyron Brantley. Brantley averages 17 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. He's a guard. He's really the engine that makes this offense a go, Gary.
Absolutely, and just watching him here now in warm-ups, you can see that his work ethic and his motor is amazing. He's always going for the next shot. He's not letting anything bother him. He's just a great basketball player.
They say the price of victory is paid in advance. Both these teams are battle-tested and have been playing tremendously all season long. Of course, the Amarillo High Sandies 32-4 on the season, a 89% winning percentage. Their head coach, Jason Pillion, is in his 13th season, and they continue to get better and better year in, year out. They were saying this was going to be a down year for the Sandies, right? They lost so many talented players for graduation last year. they haven't dipped at all on the talent level at all. They are tall, they are good, and they love to get the rebounds. They're going to play a zone defense, a 2-3 zone, a 3-2 zone, and they're really good on the defensive end.
Absolutely, and going to the offensive end, we were talking about this before the broadcast. They're running a 5-out motion offense. That's quite the strategy to have for such tall players.
Right, and then for Monterey, their assist-to-turnover ratio has been tremendous all season long. In fact, they force 17 turnovers a game, and giving up only 10.6 to the opposing team. So they're forcing more turnovers than they give up assists, and that tells you how spectacular the defense is. They're going to be suffocating. They're going to look to get balls back on transition. All right, we're about 54 seconds out from getting this thing underway. Gary, how do you feel about this one? I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling that these are two teams that are aggressive, they want to win, and they're going to fight tooth and nail to get this victory tonight.
The last time we saw a team with Monterey and facing a team with the Sandies on their uniform, we saw a 5-overtime thriller out in Littlefield. We talked to head coach of the Monterey Plainsmen, Josh Davis. He said that both coaches agree they don't want a 5-overtime game because it is an emotional roller coaster, but at the end of the day, whoever gets the win, they don't care if it takes 5 overtime. So when we come back, we'll have starting lineups. This game is being presented to you by Lubbock ISD TV on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. Rip Griffin Center on the campus of Lubbock Christian University. Amarillo High taking on Monterey. Let's go ahead and start with the Monterey Plainsmen in their starting lineup. If you see them down there clapping their hands and getting hyped up. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior is Ajon Luke, averaging 8.3 points per game. The guard that we just previewed, a senior, Zyron Brantley, averaging 17 points per game. Cha-ching, cha-ching, Cash Lewis had 20 points in their last game. He's starting at forward. He's 6'4", and he needs to have a big game. TK Young, a superstar on the football field, also a superstar on the basketball court. He's a 6-foot senior, averaging 10.7 points per game. And to round out the starting lineups for Monterey, Carter Bapkoon, a 6'2" junior. For Amarillo High, they have a pretty solid lineup themselves. Getting the start at point guard is a senior, number 1, Jackson Williams. Starting at shooting guard, 6'7" junior, Braden Housen. I forgot to mention Cooper Pillion. He's the coach's son. He's 6'7" and a senior. Zach Brown getting the start as well as a shooting guard, standing at 6'3". And to round out the starting lineup for Amarillo High is TJ Brown, a 6-foot strong forward. What did you notice in that starting lineup, Gary?
They are tall, very tall.
I noticed everybody is north of 6 feet. And so if you're Monterey, getting the rebounds is going to be tough, but you need to crash the boards. Cash Lewis needs to have another great game underneath the basket. He can match their size a little bit, but they need to have him big game in your guards crashing the board. All right, so there's your starting lineups. Both teams getting ready for this game tonight. Of course, it's being presented to you by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV. Of course, you're watching this on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. We're continuing to grow the channel. I believe we started out with 35 subscribers this time last week, and we're over 1.1 thousand. Yeah, that's awesome, and it's all because of the amazing support from our viewers. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, subscribe, because that's the way you can interact with us. We'd love to hear some comments during the game, and we're super grateful for everybody tuning in.
Absolutely, thank you for everybody.
The truth. And of course, all these cameras that you're looking at tonight has a student behind them. Without our amazing student crew, we wouldn't be able to put this on tonight. All right, here we go. It's go time here in Lubbock as we have the Monterey Plainsmen facing off against the Amarillo High Sandies. You can just feel the atmosphere slowly getting bigger and bigger. Of course, there was a game before us. It was Canyon versus Seminole, and the Eagles were able to capture the win in that game. So here we go. We're underway here in Lubbock, and it's Amarillo High and Housen that came away with that opening tip. Jackson Williams with the ball. to Housen. That's what they're going to try to do, is feed it down low in the paint, kissing it off the glass for 2. First points of the game goes to Cooper Pillion.
Perfect back cut right to the basket and lay it up.
He's got 2 points. Monterey looking to do their thing. TK Young here in front of us. A big part of this team, one of the many that are in double figures. Of course, this is the guy that we highlighted, Zyron Brantley. Of course, Amarillo High running that zone against them. Brantley driving and finishing strong. Zyron Brantley gets on the board. We're knotted up at 2. A great drive to the basket there, right, Gary?
Absolutely. I was really impressed on how he was able to get around such a tall defender going straight up.
They're going to be looking for him to do that a lot tonight. Braden Housen stood up. Monterey looking to lock down on defense. Of course, these 2 teams have already played once this year, back on December 16th. A 3-ball, no good. Amarillo High won that game 49-42, but Monterey had a 2-point lead in the 4th quarter. Stolen away by the Sandies. Flying onto the ground. Both tremendous effort by both of the gentlemen flying onto the court. TK Young laying it all out on the line, as well as Zach Brown. The ball's going to go to Monterey. Of course, the foul's going to go against Zach Brown. That's his first foul of the game. TK Young played tremendously this year on the football field, playing a star wide receiver role for the team. But I feel like his impact has been even more tremendous on the basketball court, averaging north of 10 points per game. Driving and losing control. That was tipped out by Jackson Williams. The Sandstorm shooting it. Off the iron, no. The rebound goes to the Sandies. TJ Brown puts it in for 2. You can't battle height like that, Gary.
No, you can't. He got it and he went right back up, and that 6'7" frame, it's hard to do anything about it.
So here we go. Here's Brantley. He's the catalyst, one of the many catalysts that makes things go. I notice they often run a pick with Cash Lewis to set up the offense. You might see number 10 come up and set a pick. Oh, and feeding to Cash Lewis down low, misses. Wasn't able to get the offensive board. Rebound, Cooper Pillion. So here we are, back on the other end. Trying to battle down low, going to work, getting the drop to go. Zach Brown gets the finish.
Some great footwork right there by number 20.
Exactly, and that was signature post move. Battling your way, getting closer to the cup, and being able to finish with that one hand. Brantley going cross court to Luke, the 3-ball. Off the iron, rebound Sandies. Zach Brown gets credit for the board. You'll notice that a lot tonight with the Sandies. They got a lot of siblings on the team. A 3-pointer for Braden Housen. He's on the board, 3 points now. It's been a balanced attack for Amarillo High. They got 4 players already in the scoring column. Here's Brantley. Setting a screen for Luke. The pick and roll wasn't there, but Bath Kuhn goes to the baseline. Ball gets tipped, and it's going to go out of bounds and stay with Monterey. Let's talk about our officials for tonight. They're out of the Abilene chapter. Got Shay Favors, he is the head official. Eric James, as well as Chris Cardenas. That's our crew. Our officiating crew. And funny story right there. You see the officials talking. Chris Cardenas, you'll see he has a Band-Aid on the back of his head. And I asked him how it happened. And he said jokingly, he said something mean to his officiating crew, and they beat him up. Jokingly, of course. I don't know, I kind of like how loose he was. Oh, out of bounds, going the other way. His foot wasn't in just yet, and so it's going to be a turnover. That would have been a great look there for Cash Lewis, though. As he got the ball, really, he had a foot or 2 separation from the defender, and he could have put it up. So I like that pass there. Just got to reestablish yourself. So here's Zach Brown. Quick 3-ball for Housen, and he puts it through. He's at 6. 2 for 2 from downtown.
And God, I have to say, he shot that while leaning to the left because the defender was right there in his face. That's a tough shot to make.
Absolutely. Infante here on the baseline. Averages almost 6 points per game. The pass was there, just a little too strong. And there's going to be another turnover. That was right off the hands of TK Young, a guy that they want to get the ball to a lot tonight. That's what Coach Davis told us pregame, that he needs to have a big game. Of course, he had 20 points against in their last matchup. Of course, That was against El Paso Andress. They won 75-67. Oh, great behind the back pass. Lost. Turnover, and Monterey's got it. There's going to be a foul on the floor, but the Plainsmen are going to have the basketball here. The foul's going to go against Amarillo High's Cooper Pillion. Here's the instant replay of it. The ball gets poked away, and there's the foul as he lands on Cash Lewis. These games are really fast and really upbeat. We're already halfway through the first quarter. 11-2, Sandies on top. Driving's Young, kicking it out. A 3 ball for Infante. There it is. Brandon Infante gets on the board. They need him to have a good night, right? A balanced attack is a great attack. And so they want to see all their weapons putting the ball through the hoop. Dishing it to Housen. He's going to work on Cash Lewis. Behind the back pass. That's impressive. They're really moving the ball around. Housen for 3. That's going to be an air ball. It was too strong. Brantley comes away with it. And when he has the ball, he's quick. Going all the way to the cup. The floater, it's good. Zyron Brantley at 4 points.
That was a tough drive, taking that contact like he did from somebody that is 6'7", and he knew that he got it in there.
A foul on the play. It's going to go against Pillion. Here's the instant replay of Zyron Bradley. You're right, Gary. He bodied up a man that's dramatically bigger than him, but you love to see the aggression that never quit, and Coach Davis loves to see that from his guys.
Well, absolutely. It ended one in 2 ways. He'd either get the bucket or get the foul call.
Housen, no good there. It looked like he tried to dunk it and was off target. Bafcoon slows things down, and I think that was the right call there as Amarillo High instantly drops back into their zone. Infante almost loses the ball. That's who you want to have the ball in their hand, though, right here. Brantley. A 3 ball blocked. Great block there for Amarillo High. That was Zach Brown. Speaking of the Browns, there's going to be Browns and Williams for Amarillo High. Going the other end. Stolen away almost. And it's going to stay with Monterey. Ryan Leathers, a star wide receiver for Amarillo High, comes from behind Luke and pokes that ball away. That is never give up mentality right there.
Love to see it, love to see it. They all have that killer mentality.
Absolutely. So Luke's going to inbound the ball. They get it back to him on the baseline to Bafcoon. Pump fake and finish. Connor Bafcoon, his first 2 points of the game.
Tough
and the
finish.
score now, it was 11-2 at one point. Monterey on a 7-0 run.
Such a tough finish, and he did the pump fake to get them in the air. When they were coming down, he took his opportunity and went straight up.
Absolutely. Moving down low. Brantley going to get called for the foul. That's what I wanted to talk about in pregame as well, and I forgot to mention it. Amarillo's High was really good at getting the ball underneath the basket, pump faking and getting the defender up in the air. And that's something that they get coached with Coach Pillion, right? That's something they practice in practice every day.
Yes.
Got some substitutions getting ready to come in for Amarillo High. Pillion's going to come back in. Taking a seat for the Sandies is Zach Brown. Yeah, 7-0 run right now for Monterey and Coach Davis. It was 11-2 at one point. Housen backing down Cash Lewis, trying to dish it down low. Great backside help was TK Young, and there's going to be another inbound pass. Here's the instant replay of that. Trying to go down low. Lewis just throws his hand up. Shows his athleticism, right? All these players out here are really good athletes, and you saw it firsthand there. Trying to back down low and finish there is Cooper Pillion. He's at 4 points. And that's the difference right now in this game. It's 13-9. TK Young needing some help. Going opposite court to Brantley. Now Brantley needs some help. Looking to reset here is Ajon Luke. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as Cash Lewis does a reverse layup and in. Cha-ching, cha-ching, Cash Lewis on the board. It's 13-11. Timeout Sandies. It's a 30-second timeout. You see the coaching staff pretty pumped up after that basket there by Cash Lewis.
And I have to say, I noticed that earlier in the game, Monterey is trying to push them up the floor to get all of those back cuts. They're hoping that they're not going to be paying attention, move up a little forward, and get easy lays off of it.
Absolutely. In the previous game the Sandies played against El Paso Canutillo, they played stall ball, and that was their style of limit the possessions that Amarillo has. I like how Monterey is trying to push them back a little bit and open some holes for your defense. The cuts, right, when you're cutting to the basket leads to high percentage shots.
Absolutely.
Of course, you're looking at head coach Jason Pillion. He's in his 13th season with the Sandies, and his program continues to be one of the greatest here on the South Plains. They continually make it to the region tournament in Wichita Falls and even go into the state tournament sometimes, and that's the standard for them. They expect to go far every year. Monterey, of course, they make it into the playoffs quite often, but this was their first district title to win since the head coach, Joshua Davis, was on the team, and that was in 2007. And so the program is on the up and up in the second year with Coach Davis. As you see him over there coaching his team hard on the defensive end. Tipped away by Cash Lewis, and they're gonna go back down to Housen. Oh man, Lewis took a shot to the chin there by Housen. That ball gets thrown out of bounds and will stay with the Sandies. Here's the instant replay of that. He takes a shot to the chin right there and then goes off of the hair. It looks like a Bavcoon. A baseline three-pointer here, and it's ripped. Zach Brown with a three ball. He's at 5. 16-11. What's up, Gary?
And a coach once told me, you can tell how good a team is by their inbound play. And both of these teams have great inbounds plays to get the ball to where they need to be.
Absolutely, and that was pass, shoot kind of thing. A spot-up shot. TK Young getting trapped on the baseline, needs some help, and it's a turnover. Stolen away by the Sandies, and they're trying to go quick on the other end. 9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Stolen away by Monterey. 4 seconds to go. They're going to have to shoot it quick. Brantley blocked, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. 16-11 is going to be the score heading into our second quarter. It's been a game of runs. Started out 11-2 to Sandies. Monterey chipped away, and as we end the first quarter, Amarillo High goes on a run of their own. We'll be back with more from LCU. You're watching this game on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel, presented by Lubbock ISD TV. Welcome back. You hear the buzzer, 16-11. The Sandies on top of Monterey. The Sandies, the 7th-ranked team in the state, 32-4 on the season, 7-1 in district. For Monterey, they finished the year 25-9, 11-1 in district. They won the district championship for District 4-5A. And these games, Gary, continue to get bigger and bigger as the playoffs go along, right? It's win or go home, and you're seeing the best come out of both of these teams.
And pressure makes diamonds, you know. You have to get in this situation, and a lot of these kids, they thrive under the pressure of the playoffs.
It makes diamonds or burst pipes, one of the two, right? That's what a plumber would think.
Yeah.
16-11 now. Here we go. Brantley directing the offense here. You know, I love the shoe game by Monterey. I know we talked about it the last time we did a game. Brandon Infante for 3. Off the front of the iron. Rebound Sandies. Man, they're just so tall, and they're in the right place at the right time. They dish it down low. Going to work, fading away, good! Cooper Pillion with 6 points now as we're in the second quarter. TK Young surveying. I love the mouth guard, right? That's something Steph Curry does. Driving's Infante. Moving the ball around, trying to go down low and stolen away. I'd be interested in knowing how many turnovers Amarillo High has forced. It seems that they're on top of it on the defensive end tonight. 3 ball by Pillion, good! What a shot, he's at 9. That was nothing but net. Can Monterey respond here? 21-11 now. Trying to dish it down low. It's going to be another turnover, depending on which way the officials call it. It's going to be another one. See more substitutions coming in. How did Monterey get here tonight? The Plainsmen took on Plainview in the opening round of the playoffs, or the bi-district round. They beat the Bulldogs 68-52. Then in the area round, Monterey defeated El Paso Andrés 75-67. Both of these teams playing El Paso schools in the previous round. Both these teams finding great success against them. Cash Lewis trying to lock him down. Bafkoon tries to steal it away. They're dishing it down low. Blocked. Cash Lewis is there. They're going to say he didn't get all ball. He's going to go to the line to shoot two.
I'm really impressed by the patience of all of these post players, you know, pump faking, waiting for the perfect opportunity to go up and get the basket.
Absolutely, and again, that's something they were tremendous at all season long, because even if they miss the shot, it counts in the foul total for the other team, and they're getting a chance to go to the free throw line. So that first free throw up and good for TJ Brown. That's going to put him at 3 points so far today. Brown's a 6'4" junior. There's so much height on this team, and that's so hard to beat. That first one, the second one is no good. Goes off the back iron, and Infante is going to quickly get it back up court. It's going to go. The foul's going to go against TJ Brown. See it here on the instant replay. Gary, playing defense, especially when you're so tall against a smaller guard that's quick as you, it's tough. Infante getting it to Ajan Luke. Moving the ball around. There it is. Down low underneath the basket. Zyron Brantley now at 6 points. Of course, Brantley averages 17 points per game, and he can get hot at any moment. Stolen away by TK Young. Can he finish? He does. TK Young gets on the board for the first time today, and the Plainsmen on a little run of their own. Great crowd on hand here at Lubbock Christian University for this 1-5A quarterfinal matchup. Great deep two. Jackson Williams gets his first 2 points of the game. That was a deep two right there. The jump ball, Gary, often overlooked, but a very important aspect of the game. Bafkoon, great pass down low. Carter Bafkoon had 4 points, but he wouldn't have gotten there without a great assist by TK Young, finding him down low underneath the basket. Points in the paint seem to be the difference here. Amarillo High connecting more on the three-pointers than Monterey, but Monterey is finding their change, as there's their three-pointer right there for Amarillo High. TJ Brown at 6. Right, points in the paint is where Monterey's making their money, while the three ball is dropping for Amarillo High.
And it's hard to go against shooting, especially when they're tall. We've been saying it all broadcast long, but it is the truth.
Here's that great dish there by TK Young to Carter Bafkoon. Great court vision and great finish there underneath the basket. So quick, back underway, as you see Coach Pillion there coaching his team hard. TK Young slowing some things down and looking at his options as Amarillo High continues to play their zone defense, and why not? It's been working for them. Great drive by TK Young, and it's going to go the other way. There was a charge. Great charge there for the Sandies. Planting their feet and taking it was Ryan Leathers. As a coach, you love seeing charges.
It's selfless basketball. You love to see it. And definitely in the huddle, I think they were talking about their 2-3 zone, because the middle man and the three, he's always looking behind him for backdoor cuts. That's what's been hurting them this whole game.
Absolutely, that's how Monterey keeps getting those underneath the basket shots. To the opposite side, man, he's got some hops together, that one back in. Leathers driving, finishes with the right hand. Ryan Leathers, the 6'1" junior, gets on the board, 29-17. See Ajan Luke. You'd love to see him get the ball in the basket. Averages 8.3 points per game. Same with Cash Lewis. A 3 ball by TK Young, a high arcing one, and that's good. TK Young with all 5 of his points in the second quarter, and Coach Davis wants to talk it over. 29-20 now. Here's that instant replay of that 3 ball. He puts a lot of arc on it, and he rips it down.
Plays a little guitar after that, too.
Sweet music there by TK Young. But of course, his team's got a long way to go as they trail 29-20 here to Amarillo High. The Sandies ranked #1 in the region for the area, ranked number 7 in the state of Texas, and I wanted to say like 34th nationally. It tells you how good they are. And of course, that 34th was courtesy of Max Preps. So they're talented. And you're seeing it here firsthand. Of course, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast, 49-42 was the final from their first meeting earlier this season, back on the 16th. The Sandies had a great start to the game. Similar to today, they outscored the Plainsmen in the first quarter by 10, where today they outscored them by 5. But Monterey chipped away at that lead in the second half. Got it, took the lead in the fourth by 2. And of course, the Sandies finished strong. Could we be seeing something similar tonight? As they dished to the opposite side, that ball was tipped. Cash Lewis got a fingertip on it and disrupted that shot. So here comes TK Young on the other end. Driving with his right hand, getting past the defender. It's gonna go against Amarillo High. I believe that's Ryan Leather's second foul. Oh, it's his first. Here's the instant replay of that foul. TK Young, it's that little hand right there, that getting tip of his hand is what caused that foul. And again, when you have a smaller guard trying to drive by you, as the backside defender, you want to reach your hand out right there. You just can't make contact. Zyron Brantley underneath the basket, needing some help. Getting it over to TK Young, and he'll slow it down. Haven't seen a lot of shot opportunities for Monterey. It's been a lot of turnovers, and there's one right there. Quick in transition is the Sandies. A baseline triple, can they make it? That's too strong. Air ball, but that was a great look there for Amarillo High. Young going one-on-one. Dishing it down to Ajon Luke, and it's good for 2. That's Ajon Luke's first points of the game. And it's now a 7-point lead for Amarillo High. The defense chants are strong in the building. See what the Sandies have here. They dish it down low. Great back spin to a wide open 3 ball off the back iron. Will Williams there, wide open, as Zyron Brantley in transition. That's gonna be a charge. Wow, what a charge there. What a smart basketball move by Jackson Williams to plant his feet right there and to take that charge. That's a big brain move right there, right, Gary?
Yeah, it is. That's a very high IQ move, especially because he knew he was going to go for the layup, so he could try and block it or get a foul or take the charge, and obviously it worked out for him.
If you're Zyron Brantley in that moment, you got to be able to, I guess you have to stop and go vertical with it, right? Instead of trying to take the charge. So back to work is the Sandies. Another open 3 ball. Williams misses. Rebound, Sandies. Ooh, trying to go down low, too strong. Cooper Pillion was there, just a little bit out of his reach.
Amarillo likes to get the ball to a big person and drive down, so the defense collapses just to get, and then they can pop it out to an open 3.
That's what, yeah, absolutely, we've seen that. Here's Brantley here. To Luke, 3 ball. Ooh, too strong. I like seeing #1 shoot it there. He's a confident young man. He makes a lot of those shots majority of the time. Just didn't fall for him there. Sandies back to work. Dishing it down low. Great way to battle Braden Housen with 8 points. Housen had 2 Monterey defenders dripped all over him, but was able to slither his way to the cup. As you hear there, 1 minute left. Turnover again. Turnovers have been killing Monterey here as they trail by 9 points. These turnovers have led to points for Amarillo High, and that's been a huge difference here as they're trying to kill the clock. It's a great tactical move here, right? Something that a lot of coaches, you practice this a lot. Take care of the ball, move it around, kill the clock, especially in high school when you don't have a shot clock. The game that Amarillo High played, they didn't touch the ball for the first minute 15 against El Paso Canutillo because the Eagles were just holding on to the ball the whole time. So the Sandies look to take the final shot here. 10 seconds to go. Pillion resetting. Coach Pillion really animated right now. Going to work is Pillion. Great defense by Carter Bavcoon, and that's going to do it for the first half. 31-22, Amarillo High, the 7th-ranked Sandies on top of the Monterey Plainsmen. Gary, what are your thoughts on the first half?
My thoughts on the first half is that they are both aggressive. They both want to win, especially with Amarillo. I've seen the play that they keep running is that they have somebody at the top of the key passing it out to the wing, driving down, and then setting a stagger screen for the corner so they can get an open three.
Absolutely. All right, game plan for us. We'll be right back. Enjoy this halftime break. Amarillo on top of Monterey here at Lubbock Christian University. This game is being presented to you by Lubbock IC TV.
The song we have for y'all is one that take you all the way back to the 60s, back to the Beatles, do a little bit of Come Together.
It all started with me and my uncle. My uncle's the manager, that's Larry. We went out to a coffee shop in Brownfield. That was an Alice in Wonderland themed coffee shop. And Larry's bandmate and one of his good friends named Eric was out there hosting an open mic. And I went out there thinking, just, you know, having a good time, had nothing better to do on a Saturday night. And Eric was out there playing, and the week before, he played Jolene with his mama. I was like, okay. And I kept thinking that this was kind of like karaoke, and I knew I loved to sing in choir, but I'd never sang like by myself or without a group of people. And so I went up there and I tried to do Jolene with Eric, and it was very scary, but I ended up loving it. And so then I went back and I told Larry, I was like, I want to do this again next week, and can we come back? And so then me and Larry worked on some more songs and went back up there and played. And me and Jace have been long best friends since 6th grade, and I knew that he was a great guitarist, but he wouldn't play in front of anybody, which is hard to believe now, but he would not even play in front of me hardly, because he was just very much a bedroom guitarist. And I was like, if you ever want to be able to do this, you have to learn to play in front of people. So we took him out there and we made him play his first open mic in front of people ever, in front of a bunch of random people in Brownfield. And man, did that kid love the rush. And you can tell it now how much he just loves playing for people and entertaining people.
We've all gone from like this level of friendship to like this level of friendship. We're practically family at this point, and of course we've become better musicians. Our bassist learned from scratch. I learned to play more than just other people's licks. I try to come up with stuff by myself. And then vocals, Katie's just done a great job. She's evolved more than a whole bunch of us did. And, Jack too, and Noah. Noah's always just been an insane drummer, so we've all grown a lot, and it's been really cool to see. I'll be doing this. I'll go into it, and then you just start when I come into the next measure.
Oh, okay. So it's,
or whenever you feel like you should come in. That's
great. That's awesome for me.
So I'll just do this.
All right.
We played last year every summer, or throughout the summer, maybe once or twice a week, sometimes 3, and we'd play like Friday, Saturdays. That was the same with this summer too. We played a few in the winter, not many, because we had a lot going on with school and then extracurriculars in school, and the same thing with spring. Summer was where we normally hit it hard, and we did 1 to 3 gigs a week, so if you want to do the math, but it was quite a lot. Right. We got a lot of nice girls out there.
I want them to be able to have a creative outlet where they have the confidence later on in life, whether it's still playing music or working on a ranch or working in a construction site, to have the sense that they know they have their own self-confidence. I guess that's the words I'm looking for, the self-confidence to be able to know that they have the ability to decide that this is right, this is wrong, this is the direction I want to go. And I think with the music, it allows them to explore that.
I really enjoy, I guess, how it makes people feel. One of our songs that we have is called Heroes, and it's a very heartfelt song. And I appreciate the way that appreciate the way that music can bring up memories and ideas of either people or things or times that happen in your life. And I like that they can either be happy and you're dancing and smiling to it, or you can be sad or remembering about things, and music can heal people, and I just really enjoy that.
You were there when I had no one, full of life and full of fun.
That I'm going to keep learning, and I'm going to keep playing with people, and by playing in All About Alice, I've learned how to actually make music with people, and it's something that I'm always going to have with me.
I have these 5 friends, only 2 of us go to the same school, and the other 3 all go to different schools, and yet we're drawn together every Sunday, sometimes Saturdays and Fridays, to play music, and I've created some of my best friends through it.
I'm really proud of them.
Know the difference from right and wrong. Love your brother, protect your mom. Help a friend when you get that call.
She'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
This is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
They say the only thing we can control is how hard a team plays, right? A team can control that. And we're seeing it firsthand, both these teams battling because they want that coveted gold ball. They want to advance on to the regional semifinals for 1-5A. Devin Ward here alongside Gary Regner and the entire Lubbock ISD TV crew. We thank you for tuning in because we know there's a lot of different things happening in the sporting world, but this is a big game tonight for Lubbock Monterey. The score 31-22. Basketball is a game of runs. Maybe we see one out of Monterey here today, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's talking about momentum. You know, you start making points, you start feeling yourself, you start feeling good about it, you get the team chemistry together, and you go on great runs. I mean, you know, they were down at the beginning by what, 10-something points? And now
11-2.
Yeah, they brought it back.
Absolutely. All right, so let's take a look at some of our highlights from the first half. First things first, we look at Amarillo. Cooper Pillion, 8 points so far. He was great down low in the paint. As you see him bodying up Cash Lewis and Luke as well. It's the pump fakes and finish underneath the basket. They've been thriving.
Tough finish as well. I think that they got a hand on his arm too when he went up there, but God, he still got it on.
Absolutely. Of course, it was the 3 ball, as you see him make that 3-pointer right there. And then, of course, Monterey putting up 22 points. Zyron Brantley been a big part of the offense. Right now, he's got 6 of the 22. But it's been, yeah, it's been a balanced attack, right? Luke has 2, Infante has 3, Lewis has 2, Young has 4, Carter Babcoon has 4. So the Plainsmen are having a lot of different players put the ball in the hoop. It's just the turnovers have been a huge problem, and that's probably something they focused on during halftime.
Absolutely, and I would credit it to their basketball IQ. They see a little bit of a telegraph pass going in, and they go out, they stick their hand out, and they get an easy steal.
Absolutely, and that was for Amarillo High. They have shined right there. So we're about 1:30 away from this second half getting started, but we got some great news to share. Estacado is advanced on in the 4A level of the basketball playoffs, which means What does that mean, Gary? Do you know?
That means that we're recording back here on Friday.
Absolutely. The Lubbock ISD TV, maybe the stream team. As long as the UIL says yes, we will be back here at LCU to bring you the Estacada Matadors. Coach Tony Wagner and company have had a great year. Realistically, they set the standard for 4A basketball in our region. They continue to be playoff bound every year. They continue to excel on the basketball court and in the classroom as well. I want to tip your cap to them because I remember when we did their game earlier this year, Coach Wag bragged about how his students are not just athletes, but they're students first. And often over times that could be overlooked, but they are students first.
I mean, Coach Carter, he quoted it, they are student athletes, student come first. So see them excel in that performance, great. It's amazing.
Absolutely, and also when you excel in the classroom, that means college opportunities usually arise as well. All right, we're moments away from the second half. Keys to victory for both these teams. I didn't tell Carrie this. What do you got?
Keys to victory, I think for Amarillo right now is keeping the pressure on them. They are getting good steals. They are getting great transition buckets, and they are shooting the lights out. I love what they're doing. For Monterey, I would say putting up a couple more threes. You know, they're trying to get downstairs. They're trying to get some back screen passes, you know, getting easy lays, but I'd say shoot a little bit more. What about you? What do you think, Mr. Ward?
Yeah, for Monterey, you can't turn the ball over anymore. You need to do your style of play, which is force the other team into a turnover for that quick in-transition bucket. Similar to the last game that we saw from Monterey, the girls specifically, when they played Lubbock Cooper, the Lady Pirates could not miss. And if Monterey can they can do that. If they can get on a streak like that, watch out. Things can change, and the outcome of this game could have a very much a different feel.
Like I said earlier, this whole game is about momentum. You just need a couple of good buckets to get you going.
Brantley up in the air. He's going to get called with the foul. Going to the charity stripe is going to be Cooper Pillion. He's at 9. This is the first time he's going to the line today.
And like we were talking about earlier, having that patience down in the post, doing a couple pump fakes, you know, moving your feet a little bit, psych out the defender, and when he goes up, take the easy bucket.
So Pillion going to the line here.
Something that always interests me was how people shoot free throws. Everyone has their little like routine, you know?
Absolutely. What was yours when you played?
Oh, I would always dribble it 3 times, spin it in my left hand, and just go up with confidence.
Pillion just dribbles it once, kind of pauses and misses the second one. Ball's gonna go towards Monterey. Pillion, a 6'7" senior, playing that strong forward position. Of course, he's the head coach's son, and so you know he's lived in a gym. All right, here's Brantley.
When you speak about living in the gym, I would say that all of these guys have been living in the gym the way that they play together. It's very obvious they've been playing together for a long time.
Absolutely. You know, they talked about experience. You know, Amarillo on Monterey, they talk about how physical the Plainsmen are. That comes from experience. But Amarillo coach, he says that the moment's not too big for the Sandies. They've been focused and have had a lot of hot starts to games, except for the last game, just because Canutillo played stall ball. But you see them continuing to grow and get more and more experience and become a better team every week. And the same goes for Monterey. They've continued to get better. That 3-ball, no good. Rebound, Ajon Luke. It's going to go the other way. Who's the foul on?
And he had to fight for that board. He came down, and they all wanted a piece of that.
Pillion's going to get called for the foul. That's his second right there. You know, foul trouble does not seem to be a big thing right now where we've seen in other games. Brantley has it. To Young, over to Baccoon. See the Plainsmen move the ball around. Every time it seems they get the ball into 5 different players' hands before they take a shot. Baccoon rejected there, and the Monterey fans didn't like it. He might have gotten popped. Luke's gonna get called for the foul.
That's a dangerous thing to do, but as a coach used to tell me, if they're running up the court and you just give them a little nudge, throw them off their momentum, throw them off their balance, they won't think straight. They'll think about, oh, this guy's right behind me. He can steal, you know, the ball I have.
Absolutely. No, that's a great insight right there, Gary, because that's absolutely true. You can rock a guy a little bit and prevent them from trying to drive to the basket to get an easier shot. Make them think about resetting. Here's the Sandies. Coming to this close side. Luke blocks it. Great block there by Ajon Luke coming from behind. And rejecting that one.
And I had to say, he was driving through the baseline right there, and 2 Monterey players were preparing to take a charge.
Brantley there, yeah, absolutely. Brantley turns the ball over there as the Sandies have it once again. 3 ball for Amarillo High, rips it. TJ Brown puts it through. He's at 9. See Coach Hillian calling out plays, same with Coach Joshua Davis. Coach Davis in his 2nd year at Monterey, and the program is definitely on the up and up under his leadership. Of course, he's a proud Plainsman graduate. As TK Young goes to work, dishing it to Cash Lewis. The reverse lane is good. Cash Lewis has 4 points. That reverse layup is sweet.
Yep, beautiful baseline drive for a reverse layup. Can't get no better than that.
Something he's practiced a lot, and that's for sure. Going to work is Pillion. 3 ball for Williams. No go. Ajon Luke with the board and has 2 Sandies on top of him right there. So here's Brantley. People behind us saying make good passes, and that's been the story so far. There's a good pass. Finishing strong. Cha-ching, cha-ching, Cash Lewis.
Oh, that was beautiful. Going around the body of his defender to get it to the open man.
Well, that was the unique pass. Like it was like a 360 up in the air pass, but not spinning, but with his arms.
Kind of reminded me something of Kobe and Shaq back in the day in 2001, 2002.
Yeah, dishing it to the big man down low. Williams there, thought about a 3. Ooh, poked away by Ajon Luke. That's is what Monterey does best. In transition, blocked. Wow, what a block.
And you can hear the crowd reaction behind us for that one. That was a phenomenal block.
Cooper Pillion, the one that sent that into the stands. Here's the instant replay of it. That was all ball. Great shot block there by Cooper Pillion. So here's the inbound pass for Monterey. Young, excuse me, yeah, TK Young there surveying. Back to Young. The floater blocked by Housen. So here's the Sandies in transition. It's a 2-on-1, Infante in front of them, but it's Amarillo, Zach Brown, that puts it through. He's at 7.
And I have to say, he took that up with the left hand on the wrong foot. That says a lot about a good basketball player with amazing balance.
Absolutely. When it's offhand every time, right? That's even more impressive. But an NBA range 3 for Luke. No. TK Young comes up with the offensive board. Great way to battle down low. To Cash Lewis. No. That's going to go off the hands of Housen. But they say the ball's going to stay with Amarillo High. Oh, it looks like they changed the call. I believe that was Eric James, the side official, that changed that, saying it was off the hands of Housen. That's a great call there by the officiating crew to call off another official and say it went off the other person's hands. All right, another inbound play for the Plainsmen. Stolen away by Amarillo High. That's an insane vertical there by the Sandy. On the other end, David Slutter there puts it through for 2.
That's something I like to see. He knew a defender was behind him, so he took a quick look before going it up if he had to do a reverse or he could go up with his left.
Sandies have put up 7 points here in this quarter compared to the Plainsmen's 4. Brantley kicking it out after driving it. From the elbow. Too strong. The Sandies have it. They're getting more shot opportunities this quarter, is Monterey, and you love to see that.
Monterey definitely feels the most in their element, fast pace. Ooh,
absolutely.
Tough block there.
Yeah, Cash Lewis sending that one back. No, I agree. If they're able to move the ball around and be quick, that's their style of play. It's the small ball, right? The Cash Lewis is their tallest player, but they've coached Joshua Davis. 3 ball by Brantley, no good. Coach Joshua Davis gets the best out of his players by this style of play that they play.
Man, I'd love to see them in practice because I'm sure all practice long is running back and forth, getting quick transition buckets because everybody on this Monterey team is so fast.
Absolutely. Actually, Coach Davis told us pregame when the guys pick on him, they're a loose team. They like to have fun. As that ball's on the floor, it's going to be a jump ball, and we'll go to Monterey. Coach Davis told us pregame that when the guys are having fun or cutting it loose and are picking on him, that's when he makes them run. And he says they run a lot. So that means the team can cut it loose and have some fun with their coach.
And, you know, at Monterey, they have great relationships with their coach, not only in the men's program, but the women's program as well with Jill Schneider. We talked to Jill a couple of games ago, and she was talking about how important communication is with every single player on her team, whether they are a starter or on the bench.
Yep, that's why they made it to the 1-5A regional finals against Lubbock Cooper. Of course, the Lady Pirates took that game, but man, it was so fun to be a part of that journey. Infante in a little bit of trouble. Gets it to Carter Bafcoon. Brantley with a little bit of space, and he's lethal when he has that, but that was rejected. Amarillo High, they're padding the block column tonight. They have to have at least a handful. All right, so here's Infante after that block, passing it in. TK Young thought about it. I like that move right there, right? A little stall, gets around the defender, but the backside help. The reason why they do that zone defense is for that backside help in that moment. And that's what stalled TK Young from keeping going. Off of a foot of a Sandy, Coach Davis trying to call that was off the foot, but we continue to play on. Sandy's here with a 12-point lead late in the third quarter. Pillion in trouble, picks up the ball. A lot of off-ball screens here for the Sandies.
You have screen after screen and a couple stagger screens too.
Ooh, Brantley thought that he got the ball there. Gonna go to the free throw line is David Slutter. He's at 2 points right now. Here's the instant replay of it. Looked like he kind of got a little bit of the hand there.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make right there.
6-foot junior here, Slutter's a guard. Misses the front end of the 2 free throws. Substitutions coming in, Cash Lewis gonna be checking in for Carter Bafcoon.
While we're at the charity stripe here, I want to take a quick second to talk about TK Young and his motor in this game. He is constantly moving. He is constantly trying to find a way to get himself open. He reminds me a lot of Kyrie Irving.
Okay, I like that. And you can tell he lives in the gym. He is a well-built young man. And you know what? That's what you need in basketball. When you're a smaller guy, you got to be pretty built so that you can handle going down in the paint and drive it. 3 ball from Luke. That was an NBA range, no good. So here come the Sandies. Housen brings the ball up. You don't normally see a 6'7" player bring the ball up, Gary.
Yeah, I was going to mention something about that. They have a lot of trust in a 6'7" to bring up as a point guard. But, I mean, he has been dribbling it fantastic. It's very obvious that his handles are silky smooth.
Absolutely. Speaking of silky smooth, there's a one-hand tomahawk jam. Braden Housen with 10 points. Gary got excited off of that dunk. Housen, of course, already has 1 Division I offer. A 3-ball. Ripples the net, tickles the twine. TK Young with a silky smooth 8.
Monterey finds a way to answer.
41-29 now, 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. That was a big 3-ball. They needed it. Stolen away is Luke. Transitions TK Young. He's just got to save it. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Amarillo High on top of Monterey, 41-29. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter action here at LCU. This game's being presented by Lubbock ISD TV on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
Welcome to playoff basketball, where we have the Amarillo High Sandies versus the Monterey Plainsmen. Brought to you by Lubbock ISD TV on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. We're looking at a Sandy going for a big slam right before the third quarter ends. Mr. Ward, how are you feeling that the Sandies are doing through this game so far, especially in the third quarter?
Yeah, their bigs are doing especially well here. You can definitely feel their length and their long arms, right? The turnovers have been a major factor in this game, and it's credit to the long arms and the athletic ability by Amarillo High. We saw that dunk there by Braden Housen. That was a one-hand tomahawk jam, and that bout brought Gary to his feet. That's why he wanted to welcome us back. Williams driving on that baseline. Why doesn't he take that? That's why he didn't take it. Great drive there by Ryan Leathers. He's at 4. He was right near the basket, though.
Making a little bit of a switch up here. Monterey started this game by going in a man defense, and now it's looking like they're running a 1-2-2.
Good eye there. Here is the Sandies, or excuse me, the Plainsmen. That ball poked away. Leathers is the one that turns it over. Right, it's their length and long arms right there, getting their hands up at the right time to be able to poke the ball away.
Little fancy dribble move right there between the legs.
Yeah, that's with Housen again, 6'7". His brother, of course, plays for Villanova. So Division I basketball prospects in the family.
God, I love to see family reunions there. I'm sure they got some heated basketball games.
Oh, absolutely. One-on-one in the backyard has to be intense. Luke gets it to Brantley. See Coach Davis opposite corner, jumping up and down. Who's it going to go with? Amarillo is going to have the ball here.
Just that length and height we've been talking about all game. That's hard to get around.
Absolutely. You see Coach Joshua Davis in his second year. He is out there, and he's an animated coach. He's going to get the best out of his guys. You know, and we talk about players coaches all the time, Gary. The guys that have been in the shoes of their players, and he's a guy literally that's been in the shoes of his players, right? Played for Monterey, wore the beat 'em red, beat 'em blue jersey, right? And the players respect that. Here the defense chance by the Monterey faithful directly behind us. A 3 ball for Williams. Short, offensive rebound. Another 3 ball, let's see, rips it. Zach Brown puts it through, he's at 10.
He made that one and looked at his coach.
Absolutely. You know, offensive boards have also helped the Sandies here tonight. As Ajon Luke backs it up. They continue to move the ball around tremendously. A dish down low to Bafcoon. Back out to Brantley for 3. Ooh, in and out. If you're Monterey, you need to see those drop in this quarter if you want to be able to cut into this lead. You trail by 17. Tip your cap to the Sandies. They've locked down Monterey on the defensive end. They continue to move the ball around here.
And I wouldn't even say the Sandies defensive end too. I'd say Monterey has been fantastic on the defensive end, especially TK Young.
Right, that ball goes in. That's 2 points for Zach Brown. He's at 12. The Brown brothers are going off today. Same with Braden Housen and Cooper Pillion. They got 4 players in double digits or really close to it. I think Pillion's at 9. 48-29 now, 5 minutes to go here in the 1-5A quarterfinals at LCU. Of course, the winner of this game will advance to Wichita Falls and will play on Friday at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Great pass down low, but blocked.
And as Mr. Ward was talking about, the winner of this game will go against Mansfield Timberview or Mansfield Summit, whichever wins that game, I believe, tomorrow.
Absolutely. Mansfield Timberview is not ranked, but I know Mansfield Summit is ranked. And pretty highly in the state. There's that block. 4 Sandies right there were on top of Carter Bafcoon. Couldn't quite see if he made it. Timeout on the floor for the Sandies. What do you think they're calling timeout for?
Calling timeout for Sandies, I think, is just to tell them to keep pressuring. But Monterey, I think, is about to talk about they need to get buckets fast. I think they're going to talk about more shooting. And I wouldn't even be surprised if the coach said to start taking NBA level 3s, because I truly think they have the range to do that.
No, they do. Zyron Brantley can knock it down from almost anywhere on the other side of the half-court line. Probably could do it on the other side of the half-court line. I remember there was a 3-quarter court shot, I believe, the last time we did a Monterey game that went in. See Coach and the team coaching hard, of course. Monterey 11-1 in district this year, 25-9 overall. I know they made it all the way to the Midland Oilman's Classic Championship game where they won that championship game. So they have been in those big games before and won those championship level games. And if you're Monterey, you need to be making a run as you're down by 18, 4:48 to go.
Well, I believe I said at the beginning of this broadcast, but I'll say it again. All it takes is one bucket, and then for them to get on a run and start feeling themselves and start, getting the team chemistry flowing between them.
Absolutely. Coach Davis, he in his second season, you see him there. I believe he teaches math, one of the math classes over at Monterey.
I was never good at math. What about you, Mr. Ward?
Awful, awful. But he's really good at what he does. I believe he's got a master's.
Oh, wow.
In education. And so he's really awesome. Of course, the coaching staff for Coach Davis, assistant coaches are Richard Jackson, Fred Jordan, Connor Weeks, and Michael Young. Here's the second free throw. And it's good for Carter Bavcoon. He's at 6 points after those two free throw makes.
It looks like we're going to a full court pressure.
Absolutely. Force those turnovers, right? I like this move. But as you can tell, Amarillo High's got some pretty good ball handlers. Housen looking.
And I was thinking about this earlier. With Amarillo, I don't think you can really hold any of the players to one specific position. They all can play all 5 spots.
Absolutely. That was blocked by Cash Lewis. As Brantley drives, kicks it to Luke, over to TK Young. Great movement by the defense for Amarillo High to be able to adjust. As they get it over to Luke, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled it from there. TK Young down in the paint, fading away. Too strong. Ooh, Bavcoon battling. Great effort there by Carter Bavcoon, the junior, to force that jump ball there. He could have let Amarillo High take it from him, but he was not going to not let him have it. So Luke passes it.
See Coach Davis there kind of they're kind of talking to him while they're playing in, communicating throughout the whole players. He was just talking to one of his players right there, number 2.
Yeah, that's Brantley. He's over there directing traffic. 3 ball by Ajon Luke, no good.
Every single one of his shots has been slightly to the right this whole game. So whatever he has to do to change that, hopefully he needs to make it fast. They need points.
That ball almost tipped away. It is turnover. The ball's gonna go towards Monterey. Coach Pillion didn't like that. He's gonna make a substitution. So Monterey with the ball, 3:33 to go, trailing by 17. We want to make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Lubbock ISD TV. We are the official TV station of the Lubbock Independent School District. Monterey going to work. Luke looked at the basket. TK Young shoots it. Off the side of the iron. Luke battling over there and trying to trap the Sandy in the corner. Great defense there by TK Young. Timeout on the floor. That's going to reset it. I was thinking, they got 10 seconds to get across that half-court line. The way TK Young was locking him down in that corner over there, it could have been the 10 seconds.
It could have. Another thing I want to talk about with TK Young is his shooting form. Yes, it looks like he has a very, very high arc, but when he shoots at such a high arc, if he misses, it'll hit back iron, which will come back to him. A lot of the problem I see is with flat jump shots. When they shoot, they'll either hit the front of the rim, which will go straight down, or in the completely opposite direction of where they're at.
So tune in for Friday's Estacado Regional Semifinals. It will be here at Lubbock Christian University. And also, I didn't get a chance to mention it, but subscribe to this channel. We are trying to grow the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. We've had tremendous success so far in this week that we've been doing live broadcasts. And so make sure you subscribe, click like, help the algorithm, as the kids like to say, right?
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, Mr. Ward, you got it exactly.
Help the algorithm. All right, 48-31, 3:03 to go. Amarillo throwing a Hail Mary into a wide open Sandy, and it's good for 2. Zach Brown, he's at 14. That was beautifully executed by the Sandies. Brown was left wide open on the other half of the court. Probably the easiest layup of his career. Three ball, good. Zyron Brantley.
Deep three.
Puts it through, he's at 10. See the Monterey fans there having some fun. Of course, that's what sports are all about, right? Having fun.
I might be a little biased by saying this, but I believe LISD fans are the best fans in the world. We always support and we always want to see a good basketball game, or any sport for that matter.
You're all right. You're allowed to be a little biased there. 2 minutes to go almost here at Lubbock Christian. Going to work. It's Pillion with a right hand. What a finish. That was elite level right there.
Beautiful footwork there, using the left foot as a pivot to spin around and get that easy lay.
Pillion's at 11 now. So they do now officially have 4 players in double digits. Three ball for Infante. No good. Rebound, Sandies. And you think time is their friend, they're going to kill some clock. Up by 18. The Sandies have had a tremendous game. And I think I've stated it many times, it's turnovers. They forced a lot of turnovers, leading to fast break buckets on the other end. And that's usually the bread and butter for Monterey. Driving and then kicking it back out. We're going to see a lot of that here in the next minute 20. Housen about a foot away from that half-court line as Ajon Luke covered him. Thinking about the three, but didn't take it.
It's just a waiting game now. They're up so much that they just want to sit down and just ride it out.
That's what they're going to do. Sandy's really close to the basket, fouled by Cash Lewis. David Slutter there gets the foul. You're seeing a lot of substitutions come in for both teams, and that's usually the sign.
Got a standing ovation here where it looks like to be Monterey crowd.
Yes, standing ovation for both teams. Both teams, of course, have had tremendous seasons this year. Amarillo came with their A game tonight, forced a ton of turnovers, and that's been the story. You see Infante there. That tells you, you know, it's been a special year for Monterey. They've done a lot of firsts. They've made it to, they won district for the first time since 2007. I can't remember the exact year, the last time that they won a tournament, but they won a tournament. It was the Oilman's Classic down in Midland, right? So they've had success, and so you're seeing the tears of a sad loss because they're realizing the season's probably about, it's going to be over for Monterey. But it's at the hands of a really good team. Amarillo's got all the talent and all the potential to possibly play in San Antonio in a couple weeks.
So, Mr. Ward, now that we're kind of getting to the end of the game here, I have to ask, is there any player to you in Amarillo that stood out?
Oh, absolutely. The Brown brothers stood out. But I was really impressed by Housen and Pillion. Those two young men were special. They're both 6'7". Pillion's a senior, Housen's a junior. You can't coach height. And those young men have extreme height. And in the playoffs, especially on the guys' side, you have to have good height. And that will take you far in the postseason, and Amarillo's got it. What about you?
I'm gonna agree with everything you said. They were phenomenal today. They did everything they needed to, and they performed at the highest level.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow us, Lubbock ISD TV, on all of our social media platforms, and tune in on Friday right here on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel as we broadcast the Estacado Matadors Regional Semifinals. Of course, that's pending UIL approval, but I'd feel pretty confident. That's why we continue to broadcast it. So 52-34, the final score. Amarillo High defeats Monterey. The Sandies advance on to the regional semifinals out in Wichita Falls, where they'll play either Mansfield Timberview or Mansfield Summit. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and like. And of course, always beat 'em red, beat 'em blue. Have a great night, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.